Hey everyone, this is Jenny from Homestead Corner, and today I'm going to be making some hot pepper jelly. Alright, so today I'm going to be making some hot pepper jelly, and this isn't super hot, it's just a little hot. But it's super delicious. It's great with cream cheese and crackers, cooking on pork. There's tons of stuff you can do with this. It's great on chicken. There's so much you can do with this, and it's absolutely delicious. So it just has a couple of ingredients. I just use some sugar, green, red, orange bell peppers, a couple of jalapenos, and some apple cider vinegar, and a package of the liquid pectin. You can use the powdered pectin also, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to use 8-ounce jelly jars for this, and I love my Ninja to chop these up because it's really super fast. So let's get started. Okay, so first I start off with getting my jars into the water bath canner. This is going to make about 6 jars of jelly, so I'm going to put 7 jars in. I'd rather have too many ready to go than not enough. So I'm going to put these in empty. I'm going to take the lids and rings off. I'm going to put these in the water bath canner and start boiling them, and I want them to boil for 10 minutes because that's going to get my jar sterilized, and my water will be all hot and ready to go once I get all the jelly ready. We're going to get started by giving our peppers a good wash. Once my peppers are all cleaned up, I am just going to I'm going to get rid of the tops and the seeds. I don't want the seeds in there, and I take this little white section out. I like to take that out as well. So we just have that outside of the pepper, like that. And then I'm going to give it just a rough chop. I'm going to use my Ninja chopper today because I like that. And I want these in really tiny pieces, and it's really tedious to do that by hand. But you can definitely do it. Okay, so I try to make sure I use as much of the pepper as possible. So I cut this end piece off, and just make sure there's no seeds or anything in there. Get this little stem out. So that little piece can stay, and then these I put right in the chopper. And I do the same with the top. If you cut right below this stem, this top pops right off. So right above the seeds is where I cut. And then this whole piece of pepper is quite usable and delicious, just like the rest of it. So then you end up with, this is all that doesn't get used, so which is nice. You could save the seeds, plant them, or you can feed them to the chickens. They love peppers. Okay, so now we have all our bell peppers cut up, the red, the yellow, the green. We're gonna do the exact same thing for the jalapenos. Okay, so we're just gonna add all our peppers to our pot. And we're gonna bring this up to a boil. We want to get this to a good rolling boil. We're also going to add 1 cup of our apple cider vinegar to this. And turn this baby up. Okay, so a rolling boil is when you stir it and it doesn't stop boiling. So once you got this up to a good rolling boil, we're going to add 5 cups of sugar to this. And you just want to stir, stir, stir. And we want to bring this back to a boil. Just keep stirring. You don't want to scorch your sugars. Okay, so once we're back to a good rolling boil, we are going to add our clear gel. Or you can use the liquid pectin or whatever pectin you want. It all works. It's totally a personal preference, I think, and I buy what's on sale. Just want to get this stirred in really good and get this back up to a nice hard boil. And once we get this back up to a good hard boil, we want this to be at a rolling boil for at least 1 minute. So I'm just going to take a little test jelly on here, and I'm going to throw this in the freezer for just a couple minutes and see what the consistency is. Okay, so after about a minute or so, you can tell, just a couple minutes, once this cools down, you can tell if this has got that jelly consistency. And this has really thickened up. So this is a great consistency, and we are going to get it into our jars. Okay, so with this part, you want to move kind of quickly. I keep my jars in the hot water bath canner. I've sanitized them in there. So everything is all sanitized. I've got my lids in hot water back here. My jelly's super hot. You want everything to be super duper hot. And I take 1 jar at a time out just to make sure to keep that jar super hot. And then I'm just gonna fill this little beauty up. And you want to leave about a 1/4 inch headspace for jelly. It doesn't need to be a whole inch. You can really fill them up good. You want to leave about a 1/4 inch though. So then I'm going to take this off. And you can debubble, but there's not much places for air bubbles to get in there, as you can see. Goes the cap. Alright, I'm going to use some white vinegar just to wipe my rim and make sure I don't have any jelly or anything on there. I'm going to add a nice hot lid and a ring. Oh, warm. Look how beautiful that jelly is. Oh my. Alrighty, let's get this in the canner, and I'm going to keep filling jars. Okay, so once you have all your jars filled, you want to get them into your water bath canner. And I'm going to crank this up on high, and we're going to bring this to a boil. Once it starts boiling, I'm going to time it for 10 minutes for processing time. And I'll bring you back. Okay, so after the 10 minutes of processing time, I remove my pot from the heat and let it sit for about 5 minutes. So the jars can cool just a tiny bit, and they don't cool down too fast. I don't want any cracks or anything. I always put them on a towel just to make sure that they're not on the cold counter. They can crack. So I like to make sure they're good. And I'm just going to leave these little beauties here overnight so they're not disturbed, so they can seal and the gel can set up, and we're just going to leave them right here for this. I just love the way this comes out. It's so beautiful. All the peppers in there. Nice and gorgeous. And that's it. Hot pepper jelly is really easy to do. It's delicious, wonderful on crackers and cheese, great for baking. Tons of great ways to use this. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.